into a bit of a rebel, to be honest. She is the founder of the DA, which stands for Dumbledore's Army, which is kind of a kind of secret rebellion.
Hi. So, you all know why we're here? We need a teacher. Proper teacher. One who's had real experience defending themselves against the dark arts.
Why? Why? Because you know who's back, you tosspot. So he says.
So Dumbledore says.
So Dumbledore says because he says. The point is, where's the proof?
Because there is this huge denial that Voldemort is back and that he's actually a threat, they are refusing to teach them how to defend themselves and just sort of making them copy out lines from books, which Harry, Hermione and Ron are just like, we need to know how to defend ourselves, how to take care of ourselves. We can't just do nothing. And so Hermione comes up with the idea that Harry could teach them and some of the other children in the school who want to do it, how to defend themselves.
Expelliarmus!
Harry's decided to start this class to teach us different spells and defensive spells because Umbridge has taken out the practical side of defense against dark arts, so he wants to enforce that, so otherwise we won't be able to protect ourselves if bad times do come. So we join together, and there's a lot of people who are a bit reluctant about believing him, but he does win their kind of their belief in him. So.
Expelliarmus!
Expelliarmus! Expelliarmus! Reducto!
Harry, Ron, Hermione, Neville, Luna and Ginny, Luna being a new character, fight and take on the Death Eaters, which is fantastic. And then in the end we see a spectacular battle in the atrium between Dumbledore and Voldemort.
This is a slightly disturbing version of a traditional game.
And I've always wanted blue eyes. How's this?
Ooh. It's very good. You could be like David Bowie, if you like, and have sort of one blue and one brown.
We're here at the Ministry of Magic Atrium, where the final battle scene between Voldemort and Dumbledore's army takes place. And we have Paul Harris here, who's the wand dueling specialist, who choreographed all of the wand dueling moves in the film. Now, Paul, can you tell me, how's the training like for something like this?
Well, the training was great. It was very unusual and quite an unusual thing for me to be asked to do, really. But David Yates, who's the director, I've worked with before several times, and David had a particular vision of the way he wanted this to go, and he didn't want it to be kind of a mortal fight, as it were. He wanted a more heightened style of movement that was unique to Harry Potter. I had to basically devise a language, a grammar, for the use of the wand. And given that a lot of the spells had already been said and done and delivered in previous films, what I did was devise a set of moves from which all of the spells could be fired or defended, basically.
Wand Dueling 101. Not exactly all you need to take on the Dark Lord, but it's a start.
Position 1.
Position 1.
Prepare above the head. Fire the first spell above the head. 1. Second one is with the body open on a flat plane towards the enemy. And 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, exactly.
Ooh, I love it. I absolutely love it. So I think I'm ready to join Dumbledore's army. What do you think?
It's the first time that we've ever, normally it's just kind of like point your wand at it, say the spell type thing, but for the first time we actually had it sounds mad, but a dance choreographer who showed us specific movements for specific spells, and so we all had a bit of training in that, which was really good fun.
I didn't actually have to do as much dueling as the adult actors do in the film, because the whole point was to make a distinction between the adult actors' abilities as wizards and the younger actors. And so people like Gary Oldman and Jason Isaacs were really doing lots of flourishing and stuff, which was great fun to watch, but I didn't have to do. Mine was a lot more basic.
It was good fun, but it's not that easy. You do have to really mean it to make it look as if it's not totally like you're just waving a bit of stick.
It's reminiscent of fencing because there's blocks and there's parries, deflections, and you can go on the defensive and attacking moves.
It's a bit like a cross between fencing and dancing, really. I ended up, they said, making it very Spanish and flamenco-y. That was probably my Spanish blood coming in.
The choreographer, when I did it, he was like, "That's perfect. Come out in front and show everyone else." And I was like, "Don't make me do this." But I had to do it in front of like Dan, Rupert, and Emma and stuff to show them.
And so it's your own personal move?
Well, no, Neville doesn't even do it, but he was sort of just showing us it, and I'd done it, and he thought I did it presumably so well that I had to go and show it to the rest of them. And it's sort of what he does is he sort of draws all the energy and then pulls his wand up and fires it forward like that, and all this glass goes forward. I think it's going to look pretty impressive on the film.
Paul Harris, the dueling specialist, he told me that you were particularly good at, I think it was move number 5, around the back with a pelvic thrust.
Yes!
What was it?
Oh my god, I can't believe you said that. Yeah, no, well, I really like dance anyway, so it was really good fun. But it was funny though, because everyone was good at different things, and that was the one he was like, "Everyone check out Emma on this move." So I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm good." So yeah, it was good fun.
If you've read the book, you'll know that Harry is summoned to the Ministry of Magic to explain his close encounter with the Dementors. But on his way there, he stops off here at Grimmauld Place, an old Georgian square in London. And, magically, although invisible to the Muggle eye, they enter number 12, home to the Black family.
Grimmauld Place is the Black family sort of seat, you know, I guess city seat. You know, maybe they got a country estate somewhere, but that was their family home, 12 Grimmauld Place, and that's where Sirius is hiding out.
My mother did that after I ran away. Charming woman. I was 16.
Where did you go?
Your dad's. I was always welcome at the Potters. I see so much in you, Harry. You are so very much alike.
I'm not so sure.
And in Grimmauld Place, there's the tapestry with the family tree, so you can have a full sense of the whole family. And we're related, like, I mean, my sister married Lucius Malfoy, so, you know, we've tried to keep the wizarding, the pure-blooded thing within the family, and only marry out to wizards, other, you know, pure-blood families, and not the Muggles.
This is the Black family tree, it's a tapestry of the Black family tree. In the book, there are 4 or 5 names, but when we're making a film, you have to show much more, and so we didn't want to do that without counsel, without Joe's approval. So I called her and said, "Joe, we need some help. Can you help fill this out?" And so, sure enough, she did. 15 minutes later, literally 15 minutes later, a fax arrived saying, you know, with a family tree going back 5 generations, with probably 75 names on it, with their birthdays, their death days, who was married to whom, who was burnt out of it. I mean, it's quite an amazing thing.
Bellatrix is a Death Eater and a real, like, #1 fanatic follower of Voldemort. Well, I think she's pretty in love with him, you know, and would love to see the day when there'll be little Voldemorts and Bellatrixes running around. But I don't think he quite reciprocates. I think he leads her to believe that she might be his favourite, calls her Bella, but I think he's also, since he's got absolutely no heart, he couldn't really, I mean, couldn't really care less about her. And this is where me, Ron and Hermione sit and talk to Sirius, who appears in that fire. And the way we do that is that Gary Oldman sort of tucks himself away in here. And then me, Rupert and Emma stare at the fireplace as if he's in there and do the scene like that. And then later they digitally put him in there. I don't know how that works.
While the fire is roaring.
While the fire is roaring, yes,
The magic
absolutely.
of film.
The magic of film, indeed.